Hi, welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are live streaming now on YouTube and Periscope. Thank you for being here, either on the replay or catching us live. I try to keep these book reviews kind of short, but like I said, we do them live and sometimes they go a little bit longer with the comments, so bear with me. We are doing a book review. Oh, I want to say thank you to every single person that makes this show possible. These are our sponsors from the last 30 days. They all went over to nextjuice.com and clicked the support button and made this show and this content and this video possible. So thank you to them. Thank you to you if you go and do that as well. We just changed the price of our private Periscope group, which is a live streaming group. If you're watching on YouTube, it's like Twitter Live, and that's only $25 now. Not only does it help us grow, there's 15 creators that broadcast on here. We're live every single day with positive and engaging content, and we are looking to get live 24 hours a day. I know I always forget to do the dance when I go live from my computer. So there's my thing, there's my dance, there's my dance. Okay, there's the weird dance that I do usually in the beginning of my broadcast. Michael, thank you for inviting your followers, retweeting and sharing on Twitter. You're always so good about that. I really appreciate you. I think you might be my #1 super fan too. You're pretty awesome. I see Vicky, I see Matt. Hi, Matt. Matt was the first comment of the broadcast. Hey, Suyag, RD, thank you for the super hearts of the broadcast. Satanica, hey, I saw you over on Sonam's Instagram live. Hey Manko, I'm good. How are you? Hey Brent, I saw you over there too. Hey Moon Mogul, who is not Owen. I don't know if I'll ever remember that or not, but uh, hi RD. I'm doing good. Satanica, how you doing? Temporary insanity. Oh my gosh, you guys, temporary insanity is in the house. That is cyanide. Just last night, someone was asking me, what happened to that rocker chick? I was like, cyanide? Well, she broadcasts on Facebook now. She doesn't use Periscope anymore. And then I woke up and I had a text from her saying, I got my Periscope account back. She just changed the name to temporary_insanity. She's in the chat on Periscope if you want to go check her out and give her a follow. She's a really, really cool person down in Florida, and she's going to be live streaming on Periscope again. Yeah, she said, guess who's back? Back again. I swear we are going to talk about this book eventually. Oh, thank you, Sunny. That's nice. RD, thanks for sharing on Twitter and inviting your followers. Appreciate you guys. Hi, Ed. Thanks for inviting Cyanide and sharing on Twitter. Craig, thank you for the super juice. Appreciate that. You saw my yoga yesterday. It was great. Thank you. Plus, I have cute feet. Okay, the feet comment, a little bit weird. Just saying. Just saying. Not Owen. Correct. Thank you. Thank you. Alt F. What does Alt F do if I push that? Oh, it's Alt F4. Yeah, I know what that does. Okay. How do you do the win pose? Hi, nice dude. This was a troll account. I'm trying to get my silver badge account back. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Hi, Lou. Thanks for inviting your followers and retweeting on Twitter. Welcome, Nancy. Do you like to read? I read a new book every single week. You guys can sign up for my book reviews in writing, so you don't have to sit here through these long-winded videos sometimes, by going to nextjuice.com. It's totally free. You just sign up, put your name, your email, and then I send out the book reviews every few months. And it's usually like 16 books because I usually send them every 4 months or so. Don't Alt F4. I won't. Yeah, so I read mainly business books and self-development books or personal development or business development books. Lou is still stuck in his dryer. If you missed our live stream last night, I did climb into my dryer because we got 100,000 super hearts and I wanted to celebrate. Someone said, what are you raising money for? This is just income. This is for this business. This is what keeps the channel funded and growing. That's why I can pay 14 other creators to come on here and broadcast alongside of us. Earlier, you may have seen Auburn Music broadcasting music for 1 hour. She does that every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And I also posted a little clip of her from last week on our Instagram page today. So you can follow us on Instagram as well at NextJuice. Hey, Danny. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you guys. Hey, Tracy. Danny. Okay. We're going to get to the book now. So I have some notes. Here we go. We're getting into it. You made it this far. Congratulations. You have amazing patience. So it's called The One Thing: The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results by Gary Keller. You may recognize the name Keller from Keller Williams, which is the company that he helped to create and grow. They had 40% increase in their business year over year over year for a decade. I mean, that is if there's any way to describe extraordinary results, it's that. Hey Peter. Hi Donna. Donna, I'm gonna see you Sunday. I know, cyanide, I know. Danny, should I call you Cricket? I don't know. Danny and I want to call in and discuss our one things. I can't actually have anyone call in because it's broadcasting through my computer. You love the Keller purple? Keller, not color, okay? Keller. So, the whole purpose of this book is to figure out what your one thing is and how to make sure that you give it your attention every single day. So ask yourself right now, what is your one thing? For me, it's live streaming on Periscope. That's my one thing, okay? That's the simplest way to say it. I do want to get my channel live 24 hours a day. We broadcast positive and engaging content every single day to help people who are disconnected to connect with a positive and engaging community. The quickest way to say it is what I focus on every single day is getting live on Periscope. I broadcast 3 hours a day unless I'm traveling, in which case you will see me a little bit less than 3 hours. Today is a travel day, so this will probably be my only broadcast of the day because we're gonna be driving pretty far later, going up to see my family in upstate New York, and my boyfriend will be meeting them, some of them for the first time ever. It's kind of exciting. So the whole concept here is not being afraid to put all your eggs in one basket. So the second richest man in the world at one point was Andrew Carnegie, from when America was first kind of going through the Industrial Revolution. He was the guy with the steel company, Carnegie Steel, and he says to put all of your eggs in one basket and then watch that basket. It's a lot easier to watch one basket than it is to watch a bunch of different baskets. Hey Ryan, first comment over on YouTube. And that multitasking is actually impossible. They've done studies on this. You can probably tell from your own life when you're trying to do two things at once, you're basically not doing either of them very well. And there's a quote about that if anyone who tries to do more than one thing at a time fails to do all of the things that they're trying to do. All of the things. That reminds me of Steph. All right. So multitasking is impossible. Stop trying to think that you can multitask. You have to focus on one thing at a time. And the best way to do this is to focus on the most important thing that is going to help you with your business. And this can apply to all other areas of your life, your spirituality, your relationships, your personal finances, so on and so forth. Realize that your willpower is highest earliest in the day. So if you can work on your one thing right from the beginning of the day, that's going to be the best. Oh, also your health. So what's your one thing for your health as well? So your willpower is highest. Think of it like a fuel tank. You wake up with a full fuel tank. That's all the willpower you're going to get from the day. You're not going to increase your willpower as the day goes on. So everything that we do requires some amount of willpower. When we do establish habits, that means that those processes will take a little bit less of our willpower. And it takes about 66 days, according to modern research, to establish a habit. So realize that it's going to take every single day for over 2 months before you get to that area. So it's a curve. So actually, let me do this hand. So it takes a lot of willpower, a lot of willpower. It kind of drains you down, but then you get to this plateau where it only takes a little bit of willpower at a certain point. It becomes a lot easier to stick with something once you've done it every day for 66 days. So think, what's the thing for you? And you can ask yourself what is called the focusing question. And I'm going to read it in his exact words because I word it a little bit differently, but let me just give it to you from the book since this is a book review. And he calls this the focusing question, and you can ask this again in any area of your life. What is the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? I'll ask again. What is the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? And then on the back of the book, he has, what's your one thing? And he even says you can put this book on your desk somewhere where you're going to be seeing this all the time, and you're going to remember, what is my one thing? And realize, are you focusing on that one thing, or are you letting distractions take you off your path? Because anything that's not your one thing is just a distraction. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Mike. You guys said breathing? Okay, come on. And Blue's still stuck in the dryer. Somebody please go help him. He said it's going to be 66 days before he gets out of the dryer. All right, so one good way to make sure that you're not getting distracted is to use time blocks. Time blocks means that you actually block off chunks of time, whether it's an hour, 4 hours, whatever amount of time it is, you block it off and you focus on doing that thing, whatever that thing that you block off is, during that time. And you don't let yourself get distracted or interrupted as much as possible. There's going to be some times that things come into your way, but realize, like, say you have a time scheduled to work on your one thing. So for me, say I'm going to go live during these certain times. Well, if someone wants to do a meeting during that time, I have to prioritize my one thing. You have to realize that appointments you make with yourself are the most important things. They're your one thing that you have to honor and keep. You have to treat it as if you are not available during that time. You have to take it seriously. If you absolutely have to put something in that time instead, then you need to reschedule that time block for some other time in that day as much as possible. Nothing is perfect, but you have to be as serious as possible about this if you want extraordinary results. Maybe I should have said in the beginning here that this isn't just for the average person. A lot of you guys are happy with okay results, with mediocre, with just being the average, you're content with what you have. You're not really looking for extraordinary results. You're not really looking for greatness. And that's really what this book is focused on, that you're not going to have extraordinary results if you do what everybody else is doing, if you do what the average person does. So, what the average person does not do is first plan their time off. Hi, Mark. Plan your time off first. So, you look at your calendar throughout the year and you pick the times that you're going to be off. A lot of people do the opposite. They say, okay, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take a vacation and I have to work until I can take it. So plan it ahead of time. Say, okay, for this week, I'm going to take this vacation, because knowing that that's coming up reminds you that you're going to have all of your work done by then, and you have to figure out a way to take that time off before it comes and happens. For some people, that may or may not be an issue for you. The highest performing people basically work between vacations. That's kind of how they think of it. They live for their time off, their recreation time. That's when you can get really creative. I find that when I travel, I have some of my best new ideas, switching up the environment, switching up I guess the people you're around is the same thing with the environment, switching up the energy, and it can really help you to unlock new potential and different things in your life. Also, your family, your friends, whoever you're spending this time with, and yourself having alone time is really, really, really important. We're humans, we're social creatures. Work is not everything. Our business is not everything. We have to have connection with other humans as well. And time off from our work and time off from our one thing makes that possible to have everything. So he talks about how balance isn't what you're looking for. You're not really looking to have like perfect balance. If you want extraordinary results and you're focusing on your one thing, it's going to be an improper balance towards that one thing. But you can still have healthy relationships and happy relationships. And as long as you're telling people, okay, this is our time where we're going to have to be together and spend time together, and this is time where I cannot be interrupted, I have to work on these projects, or I have to work on my one thing, they will be surprisingly fine with that. As long as you're giving them time, they will respect the time that you are working on your other things, as long as you don't let the other things trickle their way into time you've blocked off with them. So when you're with your family, when you're with your loved one, when you're with your friends, put the phone away. Keep the distractions away. Time block, okay? So fully focus on one thing at a time and you're going to have way better results. If you're having a really hard time with this, he didn't talk about this so much in the book, but well, he did mention it when you first wake up to meditate. I encourage you to meditate every single day. I am a yoga teacher, so I'm a little bit biased in thinking that that's important, but there's so much science that proves that meditation helps you to stay focused on one thing at a time, and that is so key for success and for stress relief. Yes, exactly, Jessica. And if people aren't respecting your time, if they want all of your time, if they want to monopolize your time, evaluate those relationships and realize that you may need to change your environment, and the people that you spend time with are your environment. He talks in this book about how we become who we hang out with. There was a study that says if one of your friends becomes obese, that you yourself are 57% more likely to become obese as well. Because what we see in our world gauges what we think is appropriate. So realize when you're spending a lot of time around people who don't want to go after extraordinary results and don't have their one thing and are, they just want to monopolize your time, or they're telling you that you shouldn't do this or what you do is wrong. If they're not supporting you and encouraging you, being a positive source of energy in your life, they're not energizing you, reevaluate that. See how important it is for you to have this person in your life. And realize that who you are, you want to be someone that other people want to be around and be like as well, and become more like. So surround yourself with people you want to be like and be someone that those kinds of people want to be around as well, right? I don't know which comes first, the chicken or the egg, but just start today with developing yourself and looking for people that you want to be around. Like our community here, I love the Next Juice community so much. I could spend every day with you guys, every moment, if I didn't have stepkids and a lover and family, because they're important too. Hey, Pipple, I'm good. How are you? Mark, thank you for the super hearts. I appreciate that. Brent said, damn it, will all my friends just become rich, please? What about your lazy coworkers? Same thing. Try to stay focused on your work. Try not to maybe engage with them so much, because you really, the more time you spend around them, the more you're going to become like them. It's easy for us to think sometimes, well, I'm going to have a good influence on them. I'm going to have a positive influence on them. So here's the thing. If you're operating at this higher vibration and they're operating at a lower vibration, let's just use that as an example. So their results are here, your results are here, and you're thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to pull them up here and I'm going to help them. Well, maybe, but the reality is that you guys are probably both going to move towards each other. So, yeah, that's great for them, but what did that do to your results? What did that do to your life and your vibration? Do you want to be brought down? And it's okay to use some time to help other people, to coach, to mentor, to train, to do charity, but just realize that if you spend all of your time around people who you're constantly pulling up, they're pulling back down on you as well. So you have to have some people above you that will pull you up as well so that you can stay where you're at. So if you imagine that, again, he says that balance isn't a real thing, but as a yoga teacher, I talk about balance a lot. So if you have a friend here and a friend here and you spend equal time with them, then you're going to stay right where you are. If you spend a little less time with this person and a little more time here, you're going to move up a little bit. And hopefully that's going to help this friend to move up a little bit as well. Just saying. Um, thanks, RD. Appreciate that. The only thing you're trying to pull up is your pants. Don't lie. You don't wear pants. We all know this, Lou. Now, where'd you leave them? Exactly. Pitbull, thanks for inviting your followers. I appreciate that. Thanks, Mysterious Woman. I love your name. Very mysterious. When I hang around with great people, I'm bringing them down. If they're spending the majority of their time with you, potentially, yeah, because let's say, all right, so let's say like with children, okay? If you spend all of your time around young children and you're teaching them basic words and basic things like basic morals and, okay, we don't bite people, you're not really learning anything new. You're not really progressing. In a way, you're focusing. This is why women who are stay-at-home moms really crave adult interaction, because they can feel themselves getting a little bit dumber. I'm not saying that stay-at-home moms are dumb, but like I'm sure that they would all agree with me. Like if all they get to do is the only interaction they have all day every day is with young children, it's like they want someone who understands basic things, It's good to raise up your kids, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with stay-at-home mothers, but at least connect with some friends, at least talk on the phone or watch some videos of adults do it. If you're all you watch is kids TV, like this is stuff that we learned when we were children. So you do have to kind of like learn new things and grow a little bit as well. And you can think of people like that too. If you have people in your life, they might be adults, but they might lack basic concepts that you learned years and years ago. Help them. I'm not saying you should never spend any time with them, because you don't want to think that you're better than other people either, but realize the reality. We have to acknowledge the reality. And he talks about how the most successful people they look for the reality and they accept the reality. And reality is not always pretty and perfect and roses and daisies and rainbows. Like that. I really just knocked something off my desk. That was real. All right. And the reality is it was my fault. So how can I fix that? Maybe I'm going to put that in a different spot next time. So that's what we want to learn. We want to learn how can we If the reality of our world, if there's something wrong with it, how can we take responsibility and say, okay, how can we make this better? That was another part of the book that I didn't intend to talk about, but this book was a good book. All right. So, first, plan your time off. Then you plan your time where you're going to focus on your one thing. For him, he recommends the hours between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. That works for him. If you know me, I don't usually wake up until like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I usually stay up until like 7 in the morning. So, for me, it's a little bit different in terms of what time I'm going to be working, but for him, that's the time that he wakes up. And the first 4 hours, he's spending focusing on his one thing. And your one thing is going to change too, because eventually you're going to accomplish your one thing. Let's say your one thing is writing a book. Well, then you write the book, or eventually the book is written. Especially if you're focusing on it every single day, first thing in the day for hours every single day. Eventually, the book will be written. And then your one thing will change. Well, now what's your next one thing? Maybe now your one thing is to get published or to do marketing for the book. Who knows? Maybe the next thing is to write another book. But your one thing will change over time as you evolve and grow. And that's okay. And sometimes you're going to remove things from your goals list completely, or you're going to realize you're focusing on the wrong thing. And that's okay too. We all do this. Mistakes are how we learn, it's how we grow. There's nothing, you can't fail. There is no, you're gonna figure things out. You're gonna learn. You're gonna grow. You're gonna shift, pivot, and then find your one thing. And it might take you some time. It's okay if you're sitting here watching this, you don't know what your one thing is yet. Start asking yourself every day, what one thing that when I do it will make everything else easier or unnecessary? And maybe the answer right now is I don't know. Well, keep asking yourself day after day, hour after hour, and eventually it will become clear. If you stay focused, an answer will show itself to you. I promise. I promise. And if you need any help with that, just reach out to me. You can direct message me on Instagram, on Twitter, you can email me, nextjuice@gmail.com. It's nextjuice everywhere. You can chat with me in direct messages totally for free, at least at the time of this video, March 22nd, 2019. So right now I don't get that many messages that I don't have time for that, but you can also buy private calls with me where we can talk one-on-one. But if you want to just get some free advice, just message me. Just boop, type me a little message and we can try to help focus and clarify. I'm happy to do that. I actually really love doing that, Jessica. So then you plan your one thing time. And then your last thing that you plan is you plan to plan. So cheesy sounding. I get it, but you have to plan to plan. So you have to time block. First, you're time blocking your time off. Then you're time blocking time spent on your one thing, maybe 4 hours a day. Maybe it's more for you, maybe it's less for you, but it should at least be, I would say at least 1 hour a day, but probably even more than that. Like if, let's make the minimum 2 hours a day blocked. That, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And remember, your willpower is highest earlier in the day. So the earlier you can do things that are important that you might not really want to do, you're looking for distractions, you're looking for anything else that you have to do to come up. Try to get that earlier in the day so that you have more willpower, because later in the day it's going to be harder for you to make the right choices because you simply don't have that much willpower left. Every time you resist the donut that your coworker brought in, every time you walk past the donut, it gets harder and harder to resist it. And every time you walk past the donut, you've used up a little bit of your willpower and now you don't have it for something else that you're going to need willpower for, like working out or getting your work done, doing work that you don't want to do. And Sonam with the donut emoji. Hi, Sonam. Hey, Boxing. Good to see you over on YouTube too. So plan to plan about 1 hour per week. Put it in your schedule, in your calendar, wherever makes sense for you. 1 hour per week, again, uninterrupted, undistracted, one solid hour, 60 minutes, where you can review your progress with your goals, your monthly and yearly goals, and you can plan your week. So you can adjust. If, okay, well, you have this certain thing, you have vacation coming up, maybe you want to block extra time for your one thing this upcoming week so that you are really, really prepared and you're not going to be tempted to be distracted during your time off, so that you can really just have that recreation time. That's very, very important. Excuse me. Now, we're in our last couple of points here. You've made it almost a half hour. Congratulations. One thing is one thing. You have to realize that when you're focusing so much time on your one thing, that there's going to be other things that don't get done. Okay, so your one thing isn't everything. Your one thing is not your to-do list, all right? Your one thing is one thing on the to-do list. One thing, the one thing that when you do it makes everything else easier or unnecessary. So find your one thing, and then you're spending hours on that every single day. Other things are going to get neglected. People are going to get neglected. You're going to feel that pressure from people. Hey, what about me? Hey, what about my project? What about my dreams? What about the things that I want you to help me with? And they're going to pull, and you're going to push, and you're just going to feel that like, oh, there's so many, all these like loose ends, and it is what it is. Focusing on your one thing leads to some chaos. Your desk might be out of control. Your house might not be as clean as you would like it to be. Certain situations are not going to be perfect because you're going to be nailing this one thing so well. And that is just the way that it is. You're just going to have to learn how to live with that, how to manage your stress and anxiety levels. You're going to learn how to get comfortable with the chaos because you cannot do everything. You can do everything in a mediocre way, or you can do one thing really, really well, which means everything else you're probably sucking at virtually. I mean, like I said, you can still have healthy relationships as long as you're planning that time off. What time are you going to shut down your computer and stop working and focus on your family? You have to have some measure of balance, but it's not really balance. Like you might spend 4 hours focusing on your one thing, and then 4 hours of your day focusing on all the other random tasks that you have to do in your work, and then maybe you only have 2 or 3 hours with your family, your loved one, your spouse. It might not be perfect balance. Maybe you can get four and four and four, but just realize that there is going to be some chaos, and you're going to have to learn how to get comfortable with that because not every single thing is going to get done. As long as that one thing is getting done every single day, you're going to notice huge results and a huge change in your business, your life, your world. And maybe your one thing right now is your marriage. Okay. And well, you're going to have one thing in different categories of your life, but maybe that's the most important thing right now. Maybe your marriage is falling apart. And maybe you do need to spend 4 hours per day, as soon as you wake up, focusing on that. And that's okay too. It doesn't, I use business a lot because that's right now, that's my one thing. I don't have a lot of other pressing needs coming at me, but that your one thing might be different. It might be your health. You might need to be focused on that hours every day, working out, studying on how to eat well, meeting with a nutritionist, maybe it's mental health, meeting with a psychologist, psychiatrist, doing meditation, taking time away from your workload. Like I said, your one thing is going to change. So that's okay. So, what he says, and I know the time block thing with 4 hours a day doesn't quite fit in with this, but he says that you should spend half of your time on your one thing and half of your time on everything else. So half of your time on your one thing, which is actually 8 hours a day for most of us, if we're sleeping 8 hours, which you should be, because that's healthy sleep is very important. Don't neglect your health, okay? You can't do your one thing or anything if you don't have your health. And I'm not doing an amazing job at touching on all the things in this short book, so I recommend that you read it yourself. The One Thing, the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results, because the way I read a book and the way you read a book is different. Hi Josh, I'm going to, I'm at a different point in my life than you are in yours. So I'm going to read it and say, okay, this is really cool for my business because I've been working out regularly. I'm trying to eat healthier. I'm always working on that. I have a good love life. I have a good family life. I have good relationships with my friends. I have good relationships with my stepkids. So I'm feeling good about all that stuff. So I'm really focused on my business and getting my business to have extraordinary results. So that's why the way that I'm talking about it is all about business, but for you, it might not be. Your business might be doing just fine, and your finances might be fine, and you're struggling in a different area. So, whatever your one thing is, spend half of your time focused on your one thing, and half of your time you give to everything else. So, you're not completely neglecting everything else, but that's pretty much how this works out. Remember, put all of your eggs in one basket and then watch the basket. Shut down the ADD. I like that, Josh. I like that. You like to nerd out on your health like a health nerd? That's cool. A lot of people are like that. I wish I was more like that. Rockin' Bob says he hates that work takes up most of his time and energy. Well, if you're using time blocking effectively, hopefully it's going to take less time. So I did this at my old job. We implemented a strategy actually when I worked there that there was a certain time of the day. I think it was from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. every day, which is actually not ideal. You would want to have it earlier in the day if possible, but this is how it was. From these 2 hours of the day, everyone's phones went on DND, which means do not disturb. And none of us could actually, because they're all on DND, we couldn't actually call each other. And there was a rule that we do not go up to anyone in the office. You don't go up to anyone. No one's getting interrupted. We are all fully focused on the work we have to get done for these 2 hours. If you, let's say a customer comes in, right? So it was a store. So if a customer comes in or a call comes in, one person would still, it was me, had to still answer the phone and take the walk-in customers. And sometimes I would have to go get somebody else to help the customer, or I needed something from them for the customer. So if I did have to do that, the rule was that you whisper so that you're as little as possible distracting anyone else in the office. And that was huge. We all savored and loved that time so much because there's constant interruptions, distractions, and it sucks away all the time and it takes you forever to get anything done because you're constantly switching gears, reorienting to the distraction and the new thing, and then switching gears back over to the old thing and reorienting to that, and it just sucks away all of your time and productivity. So time block. Try to really block your time and protect your time blocks. You might have to actually go somewhere else. You might have to leave your office, take your laptop, and go to a little cafe where you put your headphones in a little corner, and nobody, you don't look up at anyone. You just do your thing, and even, close your emails, put your phone on silent or turn your phone off. Try to eliminate all distractions and fully focus on that one thing so that you can do it, not only get it done, but also do it well and give it your full focus and energy because it deserves it. It's your thing. It's your one thing. It's the thing that's going to give you the best life possible. Yeah. Go ahead, Josh. Yeah, you can become a certified nutritionist for sure. Thank you, Charles. Mm-mm-mm. Can I help you, Charles? Maybe. Yeah, someone said, what if my one thing is everything? I already said in the beginning that your one thing can't be everything. The priority one thing. Yes. Yep. So we talked about Eat That Frog a little bit the other day, which is by Brian Tracy, another book that I love, where he teaches you how to prioritize your to-do list and do the first thing first. This book's a little bit different in that it says like you basically just like it's more of a big picture. So you have your big picture one thing. I guess that's really what I'm focused on, but you break it down into your smaller, okay, so what's the one thing I can do right now that's going to make everything else easier or unnecessary? And then you do that. And then you ask yourself again when you're done with that little task, what's the one thing I can do right now that's going to make everything else easier or unnecessary? And then you do that task. So you're always reframing through this focusing question of the one thing. What's the one most important thing? Because so even getting ready for this broadcast, I had an email and it looked kind of interesting and I opened it. I was reading, oh, that's not the important thing here. My one thing today was to get this broadcast done so that I could get on the road because I'm going on a road trip to go see my family and it's a long drive and getting on the road as early as possible would be great while it's still daylight. So this is my thing and it still took me like a couple little sidetracks. I went down some windy paths to get here, and I'm realizing, even me, who I find myself to be pretty focused, pretty clear about my passion, my priority, my purpose, I still struggle with that. So, like I said, nobody's perfect, but we can all get better and we can hold each other accountable. So, feel free to ask me, like, is this your one thing? Is this the one thing this broadcast was supposed to be about? And ask yourself that and ask each other that. Like, what's your one thing? Did you do your one thing today? We can help to each other to grow. And if you want to be in a smaller group of people that do that every single month, we meet for 1 hour. It's called our mastermind group. You can go to nextjuice.com and click shop. It's $25. And our next meeting, I believe, is April 6th, if I'm not mistaken. So we have a couple more weeks. You have like 2 weeks to get signed up for that. So go do it. Thank you, Boxing, for the super hearts. Thanks, Charles. Hi. Sorry, I'm just going back and catching up with the comments now. Donna's eating the donuts. All right, all right. Thank you, Brent. Taylor's great at responding back to her viewers. It's only been like probably 20 minutes since you said that. Discipline, yes, the importance of discipline. You did 2 beer reviews today. Nice, Beer Master, good. Hey, Tough Mudder. So, Beer Master, I would ask you, why do you do the beer reviews? What is your purpose of the beer reviews? What is your intended outcome? What is the reason? So I know your mission is to like review as many beers as possible, but what's the purpose of that? So we have purpose, mission, and vision. Vision is what it looks like in your perfect world when your purpose becomes a reality and you accomplish your mission. So purpose is first, like what are you trying to do? What's the purpose? For us, it's that we want to help, really ultimately, I want to help people to not kill themselves. That was like my ultimate initial purpose, and I still focus on that. And when somebody in the broadcast it seems to be struggling with that, I usually will just kind of switch gears, drop everything, and focus on that. So for me, to accomplish that purpose, it was like, okay, let's bring as much positivity, let's put out as much positivity into the world as possible and let people know that we see them, we hear them, we feel them, that they are not alone. So positivity and engagement is kind of like my purpose, ultimately to prevent as much as possible depression and suicide. My mission is what I think we should do to get there. So I want to get this channel live on Periscope 24 hours a day with positive and engaging content to accomplish the purpose. And then my vision is what is that going to look like? How much is that going to cost? What kind of broadcasters are we going to have? What kind of success stories and testimonials are we going to be receiving? How am I going to feel? How are the creators going to feel? How's the audience going to feel? Like as vivid and as detailed as possible. And then something actually they talked about in this book too, bonus content, because I already said everything I wanted to say. There's a little bit of bonus for you hanging in here for 37 minutes with me, is that people who, sorry, I had to kind of formulate in my mind, people who envision the outcome are more likely to achieve than people who do no envisioning of anything. But people who envision the process to get them to the outcome are significantly more likely to pull it off than even people who visualize the outcome in a very clear way. So you want to then step back, say, okay, well, how did we get to that level? What was the thing that came right before that? Okay, how did we get there? Until you're back to where you are today. And then you can clearly see, okay, well, here's my next step. So for me right now, I'm trying to get 21 shows per week on this channel in addition to my own 21 hours of content, I could say. I might start allowing people to do 2-hour shows or having one person even doing more than one show. So 21 hours of content generated by broadcasters other than myself. And then I'm also generating 21 hours of content per week. So that leads to 42 hours. 24 hours a day is 168 hours per week. That's a big goal. But I'm not just going to be like, okay, I'm from here and now I'm envisioning 168 hours of content. Well, what's the next step? For me, it's 21. And I really do think that I could be there in the next month, even though that was my goal for the whole year. Sometimes you'll think, oh, this is a big thing. It's going to take forever. And then you realize, you know what? It's actually not going to be that hard to get there as you start putting the work in. And then it happens sooner than you think. And then you say, okay, well, now we can jump right to that next step, which is maybe 50 hours of content done by people other than me, and just keep on pushing until we're at 168 hours total. Then one day others will help bring you up as you have done your whole life. I like that, Jessica. Eventually you will find the ones that are like you. They will see you at some point in life. Oh, okay. I like that. You've actually put a lot of thought into this. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. I kind of just made up that 50 thing. I haven't actually really thought past the 21 thing. I thought to 168, and my current goal is 21, but I haven't figured out that next step, and I should. So thank you for kind of bringing that to my awareness. Like, I have to practice what I preach, and this helps me. So teaching is actually one of the best ways to learn. And Mark is like, I'm here twice. He's over on YouTube and on Periscope. I appreciate you saying that, Josh, too. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down, never gonna turn around and desert you. Are those the words? Then who raised the egg? Your network is your net worth. Ooh, boom! I like that one. I like that one. Tough. Dennis, right? So when I hang around, okay, I read all those comments, so now I'm coming back to we just got rickrolled. You did, Mike. You did. Hi, Mike. It's good to see you. Where you been? Hey, Shara. Hey, Soft Kitty. Oh, Team Fabe. Yes. Where's Fabe? Is anyone know where Fabe is? He didn't do a show on Sunday and he hasn't responded back to me. Is he okay? Where's he at? Those are the words. Yes. Thank you, Shara, for the super juice. Appreciate that. It's green, which means it's celery juice and disgusting, but I'll take it. Jairus Cook better drink some coffee. You're going to be making him work like a dog. I love Jairus. Hey, Natalie. Oh, DJ Pony with an IE? Interesting. What does that mean? The words of the great Rick Astley. Visualization is so important. You're definitely right. Hey, thank you, Natalie, for the super juice. Makes sense breaking down the large task into smaller steps, right? So it's not so intimidating and feels like Ed said this the other day that he had this project on his to-do list, and he's like, that's not a to-do list. Like you have your to-do list and you have your projects. So your projects need to be broken down into bite-sized pieces, and then each step, one after the other, can go onto your to-do list. So you can't just like put a project on your. So I can't just put like get the channel live 24 hours a day on my to-do list because like I'm never gonna cross that off. It's not something that I just like do. So what's the next step towards that? What's the next step? For example, I have a goal of getting Kayvon to come on my show Split Screen and be interviewed, and then it's like, well, that's not really a to-do list item. Like get Kayvon to come on the show. Well, what do I really have to do? Well, I have to probably write a proposal and then reach out to him and actually tell him that I want to do that. Like this is not just gonna magically happen. So I put that on my calendar for next week actually to reach out, to make a proposal and reach out to him. Thanks for inviting, Natalie. Proper 12 whiskey and you'll get massive views, etc. Hi, Andrew. How are you? It's exhausting watching Taylor on Scope. We don't have to keep up with her like you do. Keely, what is that? 1.000.00 dollar sign? Today is my first day off from work and I feel like a waste of a body. Interesting, Warren. Yeah, realize that it's important for you to take time off and to focus on other things. Do other things that you like. Do some yoga, do some working out, create some music, create some art. Be lazy if you want to just be lazy, just like hang out, play some games, connect with some old friends, family members you haven't talked to in a while, reach out to your grandma, you know, lots you can do in your time off. Nextjuice.com for the win. Thank you, Jay Bolt. Yes. I do feel like I win every time you guys go there. It feels like we're going to get that much closer to getting this channel live as much as we want to. I feel like eventually the answer is take a nap. Will you be playing the keyboard? Not on this broadcast. I play it occasionally, not as much as I could. Not that I should, because that's not my one thing. Ray Herring asked me this the other day. We had a one-on-one call, and she said, "Oh, how's the keyboard playing going?" And I was like, "It's not really going, but I don't really care because it's not my one thing. Like playing the keyboard isn't an important part of my life or my goals. It's just a fun. This is like what I'm saying with Warren Morris. Like if I have some time off and I just want to mess around with it, maybe I will. But it's not my one thing, at least not right now in my life. It's there if I ever want to play it, and I occasionally do. Hi, Mike. Or be a speaker in colleges. You sell heart and beauty products? Heart and beauty? Oh, is that supposed to be health? Health and beauty products, Charles? Heart products? I'm a much better drummer than carpenter, but it don't pay the bills. Some drummers are very highly paid, Bob. So your thing might be to focus on, if you want to, like for a drummer, you're probably gonna have to be in a band, right? So I don't know of any drummers that just drum and that's how they make their money is just by drumming by themselves doing gigs. So you're probably gonna have to figure out how to get into a band. So searching for a band who's looking for a drummer, spending at least an hour every single day looking for that, probably change your whole life. And you could get paid to be a drummer, and it could pay your bills. No one better touch my basket. I hate that. Okay, I read all that. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep kept up here. If you didn't have Nextjuice, what would you do for income? Well, I worked for 6 years selling durable medical equipment before what I created was actually called Fem Yoga, which was a yoga company. So I was also a yoga teacher on the side, and I made money through teaching yoga as a yoga teacher. But now it's Nextjuice. So, if you were to say like if Nextjuice, I don't know what would happen to Nextjuice to make it not exist right now, but I would probably just start streaming on another platform. Now you're watching on YouTube and Periscope. Hello, Grey's Anatomy fan 7. I like Grey's Anatomy too. That waste of a body feeling will pass. Trust me, Josh. Come on, Kayvon, let's go. I love how you guys spell Kayvon. A band of drummers, like recycled percussion. You could be in the Blue Man group. You could watch me extrapolate all day. Thanks, all F4, because I can go all day. This was supposed to be a 10-minute broadcast. It's been 45 minutes. Hi, French Tickler. I haven't seen you in so long. How have you been? Studio musicians are hired separately. Studio musicians. Oh, you mean to, what do you mean by that, Emily? Like he could like be like the drums on someone else's track. Drumming is a little bit tough, I think, in certain cases because of um, like people being able to program music now. You know, they don't actually have to like pay a human, they can just have a software program that sounds like somebody's drumming. To be an accomplished woman, you must know how to needle, be well educated, and play in the arts. Be thankful you're not trying to impress Mr. Darcy. Shara, I wish I got that reference. I know you're going to hate me. Don't block me. Don't block me. Just tell me what that means. Mr. Dorsey? What are you talking about? How are you, Naz, by the way? That INXS song would go good in the background. I can't play copyright music. RN time off. Dryer hopping is a new thing trending for people these days. I don't know what you're talking about, boxing. Guys, don't look at my replays on Periscope. I did not get into the dryer. Don't listen to them. They're lying. It's a lie. Is that what Twitter's into now? Are we talking about Jack Dorsey? What's happening right now? Emily's loose in the scope. Jump in Taylor's scopes when you need to cheer up. Aw, thanks, Natalie. Appreciate that. Did you say what DJ Pony means? Maybe I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still scrolling. You should read up on agile software development. There are a lot of parallels with your process. Agile software development? Wait, what? Okay, I'm going to put that in my Google. I trust you, Mike. Agile software development. Quality code matters. I don't understand why I would want to learn about coding. Coding's definitely not my one thing. I tried it for a little while. An approach to software development under which requirements and solutions evolve through the collaborative effort of self-organizing and cross-functional teams and their customers and users. Mike, are you a programmer? It's funny how people will relate things through the lens of what they do. Like, I feel like everything is related to live streaming or yoga. You know, what do they say? When you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Hey, Jimmy Knapp. No marathons on the to-do list, just short sprints. Ooh, I like that, Ed. Changed to my new DJ name, inspired by My Little Pony, DJ Pone 3? Inspired by My Little Pony? Interesting. I sing that song to Sonam a lot. So, Natalie, I'll ask you the same question I asked Pitbull. I didn't see Pitbull's answer. What is your purpose of DJing? So your mission is that you want to be a great DJ. What is your purpose? Like, what is your intention with DJing? Hi, Kyle. Friday motivation. Oh my God, it is Friday. That means we have to go. Have you even tried the celery juice yet? Such a hater. I'm triggered now. Okay, that's a good point. I'm knocking it before I try it. I'll have to try it. I'm going to make it my mission to find celery juice at some point. Working, kids need to eat. Yeah, we all need to eat. We definitely all need to eat. Hello Kitty is related to everything, literally. Emily, which beach is better, Clearwater or Daytona? Clearwater, in my opinion. I like Clearwater. Clearwater is like a special place in my heart. Daytona is on the East Coast, which a lot of people prefer because the waves are bigger. But the last time I went to Daytona, it was not too long after a hurricane, and most of the beach was gone. And the one area where you could lay out your towel was just like all sand spurs. So it was kind of a bad experience. So it's not fair. You can drive on the beach in Daytona, but I personally just love Clearwater so much. I want to share fabulous, happy music with my fans to cheer everyone up and get them dancing. Cool. Okay, so what is the purpose of that? So that's your mission. You want to share fabulous, happy music with people to cheer them up and get them dancing. So the purpose is to cheer people up. So I maybe get a little bit clearer on that, like what, who exactly, like who, so you said your fans, but like who is your target client, who's your target person, and why do they need cheering up? Like what's wrong with them that they're like not being cheered up, and what's the outcome of them being cheered up by the music? Hi, you can, how are you? Last night will never be forgotten. I already forgot. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I didn't get in the dryer. um Start drumming on Periscope. Good crowd here that pays super hearts. Yeah, Emily, Natalie has done some drumming on here before. EJ Luna used to drum on Periscope a lot, and he actually got a decent amount of support. I don't know if it'll pay the bills per se. Um, you know, I don't know of any drummers on Periscope that pay their bills with that money. I'll put it that way. It can supplement, but you probably can't quit your job unless you figure out something that hasn't been figured out yet. OG follower here since day one. Shout out to French Tickler. Hello from Turkey. Merhaba, M Fire. Hey Taylor, things been so weird without egg drop. Really, gamer? I haven't been using egg drop for many months. Everyone should have a backup plan. So Naz, my backup plan would be YouTube live streaming. But it would still be Next Juice. Like, why would Next Juice not exist anymore? You know, if you gave me like an actual real threat, like, I mean, it's a company. So like, if Periscope either shut down this channel or Periscope shut down completely, I would just stream on a different platform. So like, Next Juice wouldn't die. So why would Next Juice die? You know, if you can tell me like a real what if scenario, I could tell you what I would actually do in that real scenario. EJ Luna, he left Periscope and went to Twitch. Yeah, he just started gaming. He completely stopped drumming, probably because what he claimed, I think, was that he wasn't making enough money. Egg Drop shut down as of this month on the 15th. Yeah, but Periscope wiped out all the bots, and they wiped out Egg Drop as well, because it was a bot, which I think is a failure, but it happened. Hey Franco, good to see you. My mission is to create soundtracks that draw the audience in. By the way, I play several instruments, including drums. Your mission, okay, so what's the purpose of that? To draw them in for what purpose? Next, Juice. Hey, John Atlas, how are you? That's an interesting way to spell it. I do too for fun. You broadcast on here, Bob? Oh, that's cool. Late afternoon drums. Cool, nice. That's fun. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. Well, yeah, your last drum scope got 382 views. That looks like that was the most you've ever gotten, right? Oh no, you got 557 before going over tunes for a fill-in gig. Okay, so you actually go and play gigs. Oh, nope, I see one. Christmas songs on bass, 1.3 thousand views. Nice, Bob. See, you have a lot of potential there with live streaming. I realize I've come to a kind of a sad realization recently, which is that almost no one that I know of makes a living off of Periscope, with the exception of myself and Flash. To help people fight depression and anxiety and loneliness. Okay. I find many people are hurting alone. Awesome. I like that. I like that. Not too unlike my purpose here. So we have a similar purpose. That's cool, Natalie. When you closed the dryer door, I lost it. I don't know what you're talking about, French Tickler. That never happened. I'll DM you what I mean about the agile process. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Instagram, NextJuice, or Twitter, NextJuice. My mission is to be a doomsday prepper. Freaking Shara. My ear is getting all sweaty and my microphone's falling out of my ear. Put it in this ear. Like I'm a robot. Okay. The Private Army? What? The Private Army? You're a fan of DJ Ponies. I had surgery. Her music made me feel good and dancing in my chair. Yes, Magic Man, that's awesome. That would be a great testimonial. Maybe she can use that on her website or on her promotion if you would allow that. Because that would be, I love that. That is amazing. I work on big productions. That's her accomplishing her purpose. That's going to make her feel good if she's ever having a bad day. And it's going to help other people to realize what the purpose is when they check her out. Did you forget I'm a sound engineer? Nope, I didn't forget. I work on big productions for DreamWorks Animation. Sound and background music is key. I'm just asking like what your purpose is with what you do. You know what I mean? Like your purpose is to draw people in, or like is your purpose to like I guess it's hard when people are working for somebody else because basically you're just working for their purpose. Why is my ear wet? What's up? Sorry I didn't get to do my yoga session with you. Hope you're not mad. No, I'm not mad, Jay. Just message me whenever you want to schedule it. We'll schedule it. Like, what's your one thing? Because that's what we're talking about. So maybe I should be asking it that way. What's your one thing? What's your one thing? Look up Ontario Passport Program. But do have good news. I can now open a youth center. Got accepted for passport program. If don't know, look up Ontario Passport Program. Wait, look up a passport program. I know what a passport is, right? Am I confused right now? Hi Danny, welcome back. That was a low-key burn. Hopefully not. I'm not trying to burn anyone. I do try to challenge people to get really, really clear about their purpose because people are going to challenge it, and the like especially with live streamers. So live streamers will be like the live stream, and then people will be like, "What do you do?" And they're like, they don't always know exactly what they do or why they do it, and it's really important to be clear on what value you're creating. So what Natalie said was perfect. I think that's great. So people are paying to support that mission rather than just like last night I was just eating pasta and I was like, guys, do not pay me. This is not content. This is not valuable. I'm creating no value. And then they were telling me, no, this is valuable. You're a good company. We're lonely. We're bored. And the way you eat is really funny. And this is like amusing us. It's uplifting us. So I didn't even realize, but I was accomplishing my purpose, even though I didn't feel like I was. Hi, Seppi. How are you? On the 15th. Yep, I saw that. Did you say that's a microphone in your ear? Cool. Yeah, it's the Fire E18. I think it was like 50 bucks. It's wireless headphones, and this one's a microphone. All right, I'll see you later, Franco. How many cans of pickled beets do you think I need? Zero. Zero cans. Good question. That was easy. Uh, you eat pasta? No way. Never heard of you eating pasta. Dub, welcome to the show. It gives funding back for every receipt you send back, kind of like taxes. Look up, you'll understand more. Okay. Hey, Mark, how are you? That's my purpose in life. Like when I come to your scope, I like to make you smile. Well, that's nice, Emily. So your purpose in life is to make other people smile? Cool. Rest in peace, Paul Walker. He was the best guy. That was random, Kyle. What is it, like a year since he died or something? Where did that come from? What exactly is a book? Oh, here we go. Sorry, Emily, I'm reading your comments backwards. The purpose of what I do is to entertain and make others happy. The purpose, because that still kind of sounds like the mission. Like what you do is entertain people. But the purpose, like why do you entertain people? To make them happy? Okay. It's still I mean, I'm not trying to like I always do this. I'm not trying to like tell people what they do is wrong. It's more like, do you really know why you do things? Do you do your job because you just need money to pay the bills? Like what Mike said. Was it Mike? No, it was Rockin' Bob who said like he doesn't really like his job so much, but he has to do it to pay his bills. What he really likes to do is drum. So it's kind of like when you go work for a purpose that you don't agree with, you're kind of like you can have a really hard time with feeling like content and happy in life and with your own happiness. So when you're happy, it is nice to be like, I want to make other people happy, but why? Like why do you want to make other people happy? Like what really why? Like digging deeper. So that 7 levels deep exercise that we talked about from the book. Um, what was that book called? Success Habits, Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi. We talked about asking yourself why do you do what you do? And then you say, because I want to make people happy. It's like, why do you want to make people happy? And sometimes people might be like, oh, because it's a nice thing to do. Like, well, why do you think that's a nice thing to do? Like, where is this coming from? What is this stemming from? Did you have a rough childhood and you weren't happy and you don't want anyone else to feel that way, like how you used to feel? Were your parents unhappy? Like, what was really why? And you ask yourself why 7 times. So you come up with one answer and then you ask yourself 6 more times. And you come up with the answer to that and then you ask 5 more times. Every time you ask why, you take one off, but you have to keep asking yourself why. So I'm kind of doing that with you guys, even though you didn't ask me to. So I'm sorry if I'm giving like unasked for advice. But for me, it was hugely like it profoundly changed my whole perception of why I do what I do. I'm weird. I just need people to be happy so I can be happy. I get scared otherwise. Okay, why do you get scared if you don't feel like people are happy? That's an interesting. I like that, Emily. Um, so Slob says why. Danny says why. My goal is open a youth center to help keep youth off drugs in the streets. Nice! That's really cool, gamer girl. High five. I love that. I love that. This is from Millionaire Success Habits. Good call, Matt. Yeah. My daughter has been very ill. Better now. I'll book in with you for a private chat ASAP. Awesome, Natalie. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that about not awesome about your daughter, obviously. I mean, awesome that you're gonna book that. I know I was wondering if that was gonna happen. Your daughter's been very ill. What kind of very ill? Like hospital ill? Like flu? I'm sorry, freaking what is going on with illness lately? I feel like everyone is sick like perpetually lately. Ali Seeley's been sick for weeks. Chris Angeles was sick for a long time. I still feel is she still struggling with her sickness? I mean, I had like the worst flu I've ever had in, well, in a long time, not ever, but in a really, really long time, not too long ago. It's like something bad is going around, or is it our diets? It is just knowledge. Is it just paper? Is it a cover? Is it the author that's important? I think the content is the most important part of a book. I'm a failure at life. You can't be a failure at life, so Slob. I had a realization about this one day when I was journaling. I encourage you to do this too, Slob. Um, sorry that I'm calling you Slob, but that's your username. Do stream of consciousness writing. So get a journal. I don't actually have a notebook right here with me. Grab a pen and just start writing and tell yourself ahead of time how long, either how long you can time yourself, how long you're going to write, or you can say what number of pages. So for me, I do 2 pages, a front and a back. So front of the page, back of the page, and I write until those pages are full. Or you can time yourself, let's say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you just put that timer on, and you have to keep your pen moving until that timer goes off. And you might keep writing past the timer, or even past the 2 pages. But just make an agreement with yourself and write. And what that's going to do is going to show you what your internal self talk and what your thoughts are like. And I saw something where I was like, I had set this goal where I was like, I want to do yoga I'd be happy. I wrote, I'd be happy if I did yoga every other day. I don't want to commit to every day because it's too easy to fail at that. Because as soon as there's one day I don't do yoga, I'm a failure. I wrote that and I was like, I'm not a failure. That just means I have failed. So failing is a verb that we can do when we try to do something and we don't do it. So let's say you want to win a marathon, right? So you want to be the fastest person in the marathon. Well, even if you come in second, you failed at that goal. You can fail at certain things, but you cannot fail at life because even death is not really a failure. That's just the outcome of life. So you can't be a failure and you can't fail at life because that's not what that means. Like life is not a goal that you had and then you failed. We all die. That's not a failure if we die. So really, there is no way to fail at life, and there's no way to define a person as a failure. A person is a noun, right? So I'm getting into like semantics here, but you can't be a failure and you can't fail at life. You can fail at certain things, and that gives you power. Because sorry, I'm kind of yelling. Whew, calm down, deep breath. That gives you power because you can realize, okay, I didn't win the marathon now, who won, what was their time, that's the time that I have to shoot for, and then just start working on it again. So whatever you fail at, you can just try again. Just keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Or you might decide, you know what? That's not even, oh, that's someone else's goal. Someone else told me that that was important to get my bachelor's degree or get a 4.0 GPA. My parents wanted that. That wasn't even my thing that I wanted. What I want is to be a professional drummer. I want to make all my money and pay all my bills from drumming. So then you realize, cross that off, go over to the new one thing that you're going to focus on, and maybe that is the thing that you should be going towards. And maybe you fail for a while. Me and Ed were talking about this yesterday. It takes about 9 months of hard work on a business or on a venture before you start making any amount of money from it. And that's like any amount of money, So to actually make your living off of drumming means you're going to be spending hours every single day focusing on how to increase your income from your drumming and getting better at drumming. And this is just an example I'm using because Rock and Bob, that was something he brought up. So it's not going to be easy, but if that's what you love to do, like it's going to feel a lot easier than working your ass off for somebody else's dream or somebody else's purpose, somebody else's vision. So you can't really fail at someone else's vision or dream. So even if what I say I think success is, you can't really fail at that. You can only fail at what you think is going to make you successful. And that's okay because failure is just the path to success. We all fail. We all fall short. We all fall short of our financial targets. We all fall short of our goals with, relationships and health and weight loss and eating habits. We all fail, but we learn from it. That's the difference. You can fail and give up, or you can fail and say, okay, what did I learn? How can I do better next time? And then try again or try something different. You're craving pomegranate, but it's too hard to peel, so it's sitting in the fridge. You can actually buy some grocery stores sell like pomegranate seeds, so you don't have to do that heavy lifting. You just have to pay for someone else to do it. What does a book mean to you? I meant, Dub, what is this? What kind of concept is this? Tonight at 8:30 p.m. I'm doing a trivia. I view books as mentors, but I don't know if that's what you're asking me. You'd like to donate? Boom, nextjuice.com. Or you can buy super hearts and send super hearts. Tonight at 8:30 p.m. I'm doing a trivia periscope to audition for your channel. Okay, Mark. Where does all this money on the side go? To this channel. You already asked that question and I already answered it. It gives, okay, so I read that. Now I'm way far behind because I triggered you all with your comments. What is the donation for, though? It's not a donation, okay? So you're supporting this channel. So this is not a not-for-profit organization. If you decide to support this channel, it's like you purchased this channel. You made this channel possible. So instead of just consuming it for free, and I used to call that freeloading. I try not to use that term so much anymore because I don't want people to feel like if they can't afford it, that there's something wrong with them. But in a way, that is what you're doing, right? You're accepting something for free without exchanging anything back. So if you get value from the channel and you don't pay for it, that's a choice that you can make. And if you can't afford it, then that's okay. And if you want to be able to afford it, then you can start working on, okay, well, how can I have extra income to do what I want with? Where if I walk by someone who's playing some badass guitar on the street side, the street corner, I can put $1 or $5 in his guitar case or his hat or whatever and say, I enjoy this and be able to pay for it. I think that's like a normal, just free market capitalism concept to say, I'm enjoying this and I pay for it because like you're giving me something, what am I giving you in return? So you give me other things in return, like when you share this out, when you tell other people about the channel, when you follow us, when you comment, when you say nice things, when you give me success stories and testimonials. There's a lot of ways you can support that's not financial. But in terms of financials, this is my job, right? So I don't get paid by anything other than you. So you're like my boss. You can choose to pay me for a good job well done, or you can say, nah, you're not really doing anything good or useful, you're fired or you don't get any money. And then I have to realize, okay, how can I create more value? How can I earn my keep? How can I get paid? So it not only goes to me and my bills and in my life, just like I would if I got a paycheck from a boss, which is really you guys. It also goes to the 14 other creators that are on this channel and future creators. So hopefully we make enough money that we can start hiring more people on because I pay them all every single time they come on, regardless of how much money they make. So it helps other people with their dream and their purpose and their vision and their mission as well. Open feet, big money there. Not true, not true. How do I make a living from Periscope? I work my ass off on it, John. I wrote a book, if you really want to know, like the details. It's called How to Make Money on Periscope, and you can get it by going to nextjuice.com and clicking shop. And that's another way you can support the channel and get a little, extra something in return. If you send $5 or more, you get something in return. So you either get the recognition here in front of our 85,000 followers, or you get I changed all my rewards lately. You get a shout out on my Instagram or Twitter, so you get promoted in front of those people as well. You get you can get access to our private Periscope group and get extra content and more private, kind of like one-on-one time with me. You can have a friend come into that group with you. You can contribute to the scholarship fund. I'm forgetting what's my $100 level. Oh, you can request for me to have, you can pick a guest that I have on the channel and kind of like basically dictate the content. And anyone who sends any amount of money, you'll find like I try to cater my content towards what they like because they're supporting us and that's how we keep it going. That's like the blood that keeps this channel alive. So that, I mean, it goes to all of that. Get to work. Don't make me dock your pay. Autocorrect. Don't make me dick your pay. I don't have Patreon because Patreon takes 10% of your income, so I use PayPal because they only take 3%. Having a real life and death situation is really motivating. Wouldn't recommend it though. Boxing, was that recent? Do you want to share more about that? Make me dick your pay. Technically, she works for us. That's true. That's true. And the difference of you guys being my boss and having a boss that I like work for through a company is that you guys don't have to pay me. So if I don't do a good enough job, you just don't pay me. Whereas if I was a crappy worker and another job, they would actually have to pay me. So I think that this is actually a more legitimate job than other jobs, but people don't always see it that way. Makes no sense because you're reading it backwards. Yes, Periscope is a free app. Failure is just a learning experience to start over smarter. I like that. Thanks, Rockin' Bob. Are you heading out? I'll see you later. You'll never work a day in your life if you love what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, okay. I don't know if I've ever found anything where nothing that I have to do feels like something I don't necessarily love doing. Like when people send me certain types of messages. I'm not like, ooh, I loved seeing that penis in my inbox. Hard work pays off. Yeah. You don't think you have a one thing. Interesting, Shara. Interesting. How about some yoga? Where is your drum set? Manko, are you okay? What's happening right now? She's our cult leader. Just do what she says. It'll be better for us if we just do it. Danny, stop! Getting ready to go out. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you on Sunday, Donna. I love this failure analogy. It needs to be in a book. It's in many books. I just do whatever Taylor tells me to do. Saul, go to nextjuice.com, click support, and send $10,000. Thank you. I suck at life. There you go. I made it correct. No, you can't suck at life either. No, you can't. Life is not a verb. We are alive. We can't suck at that. I told her this before. When you read the comments backwards, it makes no sense. No, Taylor is trolling us. My daughter had a flu that almost sent her to the hospital. We were able to stay home with nurse help. Nice. That's awesome, Natalie. I'm glad that you have that. See, you guys, having excess income can really, really help to make your life a little bit better because sometimes going to the hospital just makes people more sick. So people are like, money isn't everything. And I'm like, no, but money makes everything else a lot easier, usually. It gives you more freedom. I'm sorry to hear about your daughter too, Natalie. That sucks. Oh, and all the comments just disappeared. So I think that's my time. We've gone live for an hour and 12 minutes. Not completely talking about the book, but I like to try to give you guys some extra value that's pertinent to your lives. So if you liked it, maybe go check this book out, The One Thing, The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. Thank you to everybody that supported this content, made this possible. RD Baker, top contributor to the broadcast with 5,000 super hearts. Thank you, Shara, for 1,000. Thank you, Boxing. Thank you, Natalie. And thank you, Natalie, for sharing that with us. I know that's probably, brings up some emotion. So thanks for sharing that. And I'm glad that we talked about your purpose too. Thank you, Mark, Craig, and Tracy. You guys are awesome. Boxing, I'd love to hear more about your story too if you want to share more. Maybe direct message me or bring it up on the next broadcast. And John, and you what? I was just saying thank you for the super hearts. I don't see that you sent super hearts, but thanks for being here. Thank you everyone for being here. And thank you everyone who makes this show possible by taking that really, really hard step to click a button, go to nextjuice.com, click another button called support in the menu, and send $5 or more to help us keep this channel going and growing together. You guys are my absolute heroes. Would not be here without you. Same thing for the super hearters. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And tomorrow, this might be my last broadcast today, so you probably won't see us until tomorrow. Ray Herring will be live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time with an hour of great music. Okay, Boxing, thank you so much. She will replay next Saturday. No, I don't do replays. I mean, you can watch my replays, but I don't do reruns. Always live. We're always live. Thank you, Natalie. What if I say I suck at doing everything in life? I would say that's bullshit. You got to stay overtime, Taylor. The next scoper isn't here yet. You want me to stay live until 1 p.m. tomorrow, Emily? Watch Auburn's replay. She did some really cool music earlier. Yeah, we're gonna go hit the road now. We gotta get on the road. Good point, Boxing. We're getting on the road. Just do what she says and nobody. Yeah, just do what I say and nobody will get hurt. Jessica, you took screenshots. Jessica took screenshot of me in the dryer. I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends. Thank you, Brent. Maybe I'll go live with some of my family so you can meet them. They don't all like to be on live stream, so whoever is cool with it will be on. Reply, not replay. Oh yeah, I respond to all my messages on Saturdays, so if you message me, I'll get back to you tomorrow. The people who come on Next Juice, do they get paid? Yeah, yep, they get paid $15 minimum per show. If they get it over a certain amount of super hearts, they get bonus pay. So I think the last person to get bonus pay this past week, nobody actually hit bonus, which was surprising. That's usually like one person will hit it. The week before that, Ray Herring hit it, and I think she got $26 or so for her show. for an hour of content, that's not bad. $15 is more than any of them make on their own shows, mostly. Our top earner on the channel is Chris Angeles, and she might make that much on her own channel. And I mean, some of them are doing okay. Like Ray Herring's been setting a goal of $750 a month, and she's been hitting that. But if you compare it, I mean, our really, really bad month was 2000. So that enables us, that empowers us to be able to support more creators who I think are providing a lot of value. And now they're providing value to my own channel, and I can pay them regardless of you guys sending super hearts or supporting. But if you stop completely, then I can't do that anymore, and I'll have to let them go. So if you believe in this vision of getting the channel live 24 hours a day with positive and engaging content, please support the channel, just like Danny Bruno, who is a monthly sponsor of this channel. You guys are awesome. Hello, Thiago. Is that how you say it? Hello. Thanks for the compliment. Hard work pays off. I think so, Kyle. I think so too, as long as it's hard work at the right things. You'll check in from time to time, Emily? Okay. I started yelling at the phone, like, don't close the door. My one thing is obeying Taylor. All right, Matt. Nextjuice.com. Click support. $10,000. It's got your name all over it. Remember to listen, or you get locked in the basement in the dark, chained and shackled. I'm leaving tonight. I'm leaving like as soon as I end this broadcast, which I'm having a really hard time doing. You just understood my vision. I think you will succeed. This will be an amazing channel. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Sonam is here. Okay, end it now. Okay, Sonam, go live. Hire Danny. Danny is supposed to be sending me his audition for pole dancing every week. I thought you were going to bust out singing that song by Cher. If you believe in 24/7, I can feel something inside me saying, go to nextjuice.com. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay, that made no sense. I didn't really do a great job of that, but it's okay. Yes. Put incredible amount of work and content, 100. I love you all. I don't even know what's happening. I love you. This has been a moment in time with Taylor. We're not really sure what happened most of the time on this channel. Hopefully we talked about this book a little bit. And go figure out your one thing. What is the one thing that when you do it will make everything else easier or unnecessary? I love you. Bye, Shara. Bye, Saul. Thank you for the super hearts, Jessica. Bye. Danny sends the video every week. Anyways. And yes, if you want my voice on your voicemail doing that, it's only 10 bucks. Nextjuice.com. Click shop. We'll see you on the other side. Thiago wants to know if I'm going in the dryer again. We're not going in the dryer again, Thiago. That never happened. Don't tell people that we did that. That's not safe. Don't try this at home. What's your one thing? Try to focus, you guys, okay? What's your one thing? Stop distracting me. I love you. This has been a moment in time with Taylor. See you on the next juice. Do it. Nextjuice.com. Click support. Do it. Make all my dreams come true. Okay, bye. For you guys on YouTube, little extra bonus. Whoa! Oh my god, my microphone just fell out of my ear. That was weird. It's like it knew that I was done broadcasting on Periscope. So, submitting. So on YouTube, I can't say this on Periscope when I have super hearts turned on, but on YouTube, I want to remind you guys, if you do go over to nextjuice.com and click the support button, if you subscribe for monthly sponsorships on the auto renew, so you can send like $5 or $10 or $25 per month, you will be entered to win $100 on the 17th of every single month. So our next giveaway will be April 17th, and we just gave away $100 5 days ago to Banana. We call her Banana. Her username is Love Squirts. She won $100 just by supporting this channel at $5 a month at nextjuice.com by clicking support. Thank you. Let's do the bubbles again. This has been a moment in time with Taylor. See you on the next juice.